everyone, I'm Marielle and welcome back to Totally Forkable. Before I get into today's video, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my channel over the last few weeks. I know a lot of you came to my channel because of my Elise Parker vegan carnivore parody. I'm so glad that you guys liked that video so much. I had a lot of fun making it. And thank you so much to Red Pill Vegan for sharing my video on his community page, which is I think how a lot of you guys came to my channel in the first place. I am inching toward 1,000 subscribers, which is a really big deal for a YouTube channel because that's when you can become a, It enables you to use your community page, so like to do those like status update type of things, and that's also when you can get monetization. I know you guys want more like parody type videos, and I have some that I am working on right now, but if you have any ideas or special requests for parodies, please comment them below because I'd love to hear your suggestions and feedback as well. And hopefully my cat's tail will not be in the entire video. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is about things that I did not realize were not vegan. I wasn't even planning on making this video, but a few days ago I realized that there are a bunch of things that I realized were not vegan this past year. And maybe I'm just a big dummy and maybe I need to have my vegan card revoked. I've been vegan for 7 years total and vegetarian for a bunch of years on top of that. Yet I am still getting surprised with new things that I didn't realize had animal products in them. So I think, actually I know that a lot of you guys watching are very smart and savvy vegans, and I'm sure a lot of these things you guys might be like, duh. But there are some of them that I think might be surprising to you, and if all of these were a surprise to me, then I'm sure that there are at least some people watching that it's a surprise to you as well. So the first one is probably the more obvious one, wine and beer. A lot of wine and beer, I would say with wine, it's like a majority of wine is not considered vegan because there is a part of the winemaking process called the fining process where the wine has a lot of particles in it and it's cloudy. So to remove all the particles and clarify the wine, winemakers add in what are called fining agents. A lot of times the fining agents that are added in are not vegan, and they can include egg whites, fish bladder membranes, which is just really weird and gross, gelatin. There's a bunch more that aren't vegan. However, there are fining agents that are vegan, and so in vegan wines, those are added in instead of the animal products, and there's a bunch of them. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is bentonite clay. So it is possible to make wine vegan. It's just, I think probably was just standard practice for so long not to. So that is why a lot of wine isn't vegan. In terms of finding wines that are vegan, there's a lot of websites that like list vegan wines. I'd say the #1 resource that I've used is called barnivore.com. So with beer, similar type of thing, there's a fining process. They might add in animal products to assist with the fining process. Sometimes lactose is added in. I think that's more common with like craft beers. I guess lactose is added to make the beer creamier, fuller, and sweeter. So yeah, some wine vegan, some wine not vegan, same with beer. Just check beforehand. At this point, Paul and I kind of just like know the wines that we like to drink. We just know that they're vegan, so it's just something you might want to do a little bit of legwork before you imbibe. All right, the next one, unfortunately, I didn't know about this until a couple of months ago, which is Altoids. Now, I have never liked Altoids. I have never found that they make your breath fresher after you eat them. To me, any mint that has sugar in it is gonna leave behind like a weird, sugary, like aftertaste and feel in your mouth. And I feel like it just makes your breath smell like you've just eaten candy rather than like you've just had a mint. A lot of times my coworkers will just have like a communal mint stash, and it just depends like who went to buy the mints. Like sometimes it'll just be Altoids. And so I was popping Altoids in my mouth during most of my last work trip, and on one of the last days I was like, oh, I'm just kind of curious, like let me just look at the ingredients and see if like I don't know, I guess I was curious if there were any like dyes in it or something. And to my horror, I found that there was gelatin in them. Altoids not vegan. Also, I just don't like them in general. I feel like people just buy them because they're like convenient, but I don't think anyone really like loves Altoids. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. Most of you probably don't even eat them because you probably knew that they weren't vegan. Anyway, next. This one is really weird, and I heard about this one again a few months ago. Melatonin. A lot of us take melatonin to aid with sleep. I read a couple months ago that melatonin is derived from the pineal gland in a cow's brain. I mean, it's just, sometimes I just feel like people are like fucking with me. Like, how many different ways can we find to exploit an animal? I don't know, they keep coming up with new ones. Or maybe they're just old ones that I'm just now finding out about. That's my lens cap. Now she's looking at the light, probably gonna try and knock it over. So yeah, I did some research in this, and I don't know, I had a hard time finding anything that confirms that melatonin definitely comes from the pineal gland in a cow's brain. I have read that sometimes it's derived that way and sometimes it's synthetic. I got scared because the company that I buy my melatonin from, which is Source Naturals, I noticed that they actually have a product called vegan melatonin. And I've just been buying their regular melatonin, so I was worried that I was eating the cow gland brain secretions. I actually ended up calling them today. They claim that all their melatonin is vegan, so then I was like, well then why do you have a vegan melatonin? And it was just kind of like this long-winded response. All our vegan products have like vegetable capsules and no gelatin, and I'm like, yeah, but the melatonin doesn't even come in capsules, it's just like little tab. She's like, yeah, well, it's vegan, don't worry. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It never says on a bottle, like, this is derived naturally, which would mean from like a cow brain, or this is derived synthetically. So I don't know, to me, I feel like I want to just stay away from taking melatonin for a while. Also, I don't like that I'm dependent on it. There are a lot of plant foods that are melatonin rich. I think two of the most commonly known ones are pistachios and tart cherries. So I feel like, I don't know, if you want to try something different, maybe you can have like a handful of pistachios before bed, or eat some tart cherries, drink a little tart cherry juice, which I think is delicious. So I might try that, taking more of like a natural approach. Even though here I am saying, I don't want to be dependent on it. Now I'm just gonna like get it through a different way. That being said, I'm not a sleep specialist. If you have like severe sleep issues or a severe sleep disorder, please go to a specialist and seek help through them, so they can prescribe you some stronger stuff, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, next. This one really pissed me off. Trader Joe's organic marinara sauce is not vegan. It has Parmesan cheese in it. I've always kind of had this like love-hate relationship with Trader Joe's. Lately, I'm loving it more, but for a long time I felt like they weren't really evolving with the times, and like their products had just kind of stayed the same since they opened. And specifically, I felt like they really weren't upping their game with vegan products. Now I think that they are, but anyway, this just like fed in to my like hate. A few months ago, I went to Trader Joe's and I bought organic marinara sauce. Now, I am a label reader. As a vegan, I think you guys know you become like a ninja at reading labels. Your eyes are just like, bzzz. Obviously, if it has milk in it, it's easy to see because it'll say contains milk at the bottom. I have looked at like dozens of jars of marinara sauce. I just never in my wildest dreams expected that organic marinara sauce would have Parmesan cheese in it. Unfortunately, we bought it and we ate it, and then we found out afterward. And what's even more annoying is that Trader Joe's makes another organic tomato sauce that's an organic tomato basil sauce, and that one is vegan, but the regular organic marinara isn't. I wrote Trader Joe's a very strongly worded message. On their website, they have this little like contact section. It's like this little box, and you could like write to them like a question or concern. I never got any kind of like confirmation email, like, thank you, we've received your message, like nothing. I never got a response. I am still annoyed about it. And then I went on a rant on Instagram on my stories, and maybe I'll insert that in here if I can find it. First of all, who puts Parmesan cheese in marinara sauce? Parmesan cheese is a topping. It's not an ingredient in a classic marinara sauce. Furthermore, this is like the organic tomato sauce, so this is like the healthiest one that you offer, and you put Parmesan cheese in it. So basically, you have to read every single label for the rest of your life until you die if you want to stay vegan, because it'd be sketchy as fuck. I don't know. I just thought that was like just the type of that I hate with Trader Joe's, where it's just like, why? Like, why do you have a soy cheese that has lactose in it? Like, why? Anyway, that's that. The next one, orange juice. Now you might be saying, like, how is orange juice not vegan? It's just oranges. Yes, in an ideal world, it's just oranges, but a lot of grocery store orange juices have things added in to make them more nutritious: calcium, vitamin D, omega-3s. So if you see vitamin D added in to orange juice, most likely what they've added in is vitamin D3, which is derived from sheep's wool. So basically, if you want orange juice that is completely vegan, just make sure that on the back it says 100% orange juice and it doesn't have anything added into it. So yeah, the vitamin D added in most likely is not vegan, and if it has omega-3s added in, those are most likely fish derived. So just keep an eye out for those things. And then kind of like in addition to orange juice, also vitamin D supplements. A lot of us have to supplement with D3 because we don't get enough natural sunlight. And just make sure that you're getting a vegan D3. This one's also a little bit of a mind, I feel like. But the last one is things that say cruelty-free. I'm not saying that everything that says cruelty-free is not vegan, but cruelty-free by definition does not mean vegan. Cruelty-free is just a guarantee that all of the ingredients in a product have not been tested on animals. It doesn't mean anything about the actual ingredients in the product being vegan. So this is something I discovered a few years ago, but I feel like I have people ask me about this a lot. They'll be like, oh, but it said cruelty-free. And I'm like, yeah, but unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily mean vegan. When you're shopping for cosmetics, household cleaning items, anything along those lines, like, it's great to have the cruelty-free certification. It means that they didn't test any of the ingredients on animals, but also check to see that the product is vegan. Usually you can just like type in the product name and vegan, and there will be a ton of resources telling you whether or not it is indeed vegan. But these days, a lot of them also will have the vegan certification on them. So that's just something that's good to look out for. Those were all my items that I didn't realize weren't vegan up until semi-recently. Not sure if any of those were a surprise to you, but some of them were definitely a surprise to me. We just gotta keep watching out, because they will sneak those animal ingredients in wherever they can. We are constantly coming up with new ways to exploit animals, and it makes its way into our products all the time. So if you guys have any other ones that you were shocked to find out weren't vegan or anything else, please let me know. Thanks so much for watching this, guys. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. And I will have another new video coming soon. Again, open to suggestions of things that you'd like to see from me. And that's all for now. Bye. There it goes again. Bye. There we go.